right, let's see. Is that on? Check. Volume levels look like they on. Just the camera. All right, we good. What's happening? What's happening? Check, check, check. JVN, what's happening? Trying to make sure we all good. I got to find a better microphone situation, but so far so good. Fat Heck, what's going down? Coach Matt, what's up? Christine, what's going down? Devon, it's Tuesday. Let's go, man. Microphones I'm using is these like cheap ones that you could get off of Amazon. Comes like this little receiver. It's made for phones, but I got it plugged into. This is what I'm wearing. I got it plugged into the computer, but sometimes it's connected, sometimes it's not. That's why I jump on early to test it to make sure it works before 7 o'clock comes. I just want to make sure things work. So sometimes I'm on early, sometimes I'm not, but appreciate y'all for jumping on early with me. Just Me Designs, what's up? Catskill Embroidery, what's up? Diz, what's going down? Zion, what's up? I like the graphic on your shirt. Appreciate that. This is actually a 2-color design. Looks like 3, but I just knocked out the color in the middle. Yellow stroke with red drop shadow. Fairly easy to do. Thank you, though. Sound great, man. I thought you were Usher for a second. Hell yeah. Here, perfect. Power cleaning my Epson 8550 printer back on the grind. That's what I'm talking about. Looking good. Sounds great. Appreciate that, everybody. Corey, what's happening? I guess I've been posting videos kind of talking about social media and stuff like that lately. Selling shirts, wanting to start a brand was the newest video, and really laying in heavy on posting on social media and using social media for your businesses and brands and stuff like that. And I'm noticing there's a lot of people that are struggling with the content creation part of posting. A lot of people are having a hard time figuring that part out or understanding what they should be posting for their business and for their brand. And a lot of people get caught up and stuck in, I don't know what to post, so I'm not going to post, or I have all these ideas that I want to post, but I just need to film it, and then they don't get around to filming it, and then it never gets posted. So I kind of wanted to touch on some of that stuff. If you're struggling with like the social media part of the business and promoting your business and stuff, let me know in the chat. So then that way I could try to address some of you guys' direct questions. But for now, I'm just going to kind of ramble on about my thoughts on doing so. If you pay attention to my TikTok, and you guys don't have to follow me on there, but if you do, look at what I'm posting, how I'm posting, and what that's like, right? If you looked at my TikTok for the last few weeks, maybe months, I post the same exact video 3 times a day. Sometimes I do it back to back to back, like one right after the other. Sometimes I space it out throughout the day, morning, lunchtime, dinner time. Sometimes I just do it randomly. It's about t-shirts. It's about golfing, because I'm learning how to golf right now. So I just record myself doing that. It's about packing up orders. It's about how to press t-shirts. All of that stuff is basically just me showing stuff, right? But it's the same exact video 3 times a day. The videos, they don't get a lot of views. They'll get like 100 something views here, 1,000 views here, but none of them are going like stupid, crazy viral or anything like that. But the reason I'm doing that is because for whatever reason, it's landing on the right people's pages, and I'm selling t-shirts on TikTok like crazy. For instance, like you could check where the clicks are coming from what site and stuff like that on the back end on your Shopify account. Majority of the people clicking through to buy is coming from TikTok, and you guys could like literally see what I'm posting, how I'm doing it, the content I'm creating. It's not fancy. It's all shot on my phone. It's posted from my phone, edited from my phone, and that's all I'm really doing right now is posting just shit that I do, making t-shirts. I show myself golfing. I show myself sucking at golf. I show myself learning how to do it. I show myself packing up orders, which is boring and it's very repetitive. It's the same thing over and over, but it's not the same people watching the videos. It's going to new people watching the videos. And when new people are watching the videos, they're seeing my stuff, the t-shirts I'm wearing, the t-shirts I'm packing up, and that's where they're buying from. So if this shit works for me, and like I said, if you look at the views are low, 200 views, 100 views. Sometimes it doesn't even break 100. It doesn't care about the view count. What matters is people are actually clicking the link to buy. And if they're buying from these TikTok videos that I'm posting, and I'm not paying for ads, I'm not doing anything. Like I said, the views are low. It's not in the thousands. It's not in the tens of thousands. The shit is barely breaking 200 sometimes. But just me posting every day the same stuff over and over and over, it's landing on different people's pages and people are actually buying. So I don't know what the science behind it is and I don't know what's going on, but this shit is working. So that's why I've been like really hyped up on telling people to post their shit so they can start selling stuff. Like, for example, one of the t-shirts that I wear says connected over the Pacific, says Los Angeles to Honolulu, has 3 palm trees. The front just says connected. I've never even said, hey, this t-shirt is on my website, go ahead and buy it. I show myself wearing the t-shirt in some of the videos. I show myself folding that t-shirt or printing that t-shirt, and that t-shirt's selling. I just got another order just right now, right before I went on live, from somebody in Chesapeake, Virginia. So shout out to Chesapeake, Virginia for buying a shirt that I've never actually said, hey, this shirt's on my site, go buy it. I've never had to say that. It's just the shit, people see it and then they go like, that's what I'm trying to explain is there's no real thought process behind posting content. It's just a matter of actually going ahead and doing it. Show yourself pressing something, show yourself wearing the shit, pressing something, wrapping up an order, doing something, but try to figure out a way to post just content, period. And it doesn't even have to be about the business. Like I said, I'm posting t-shirt stuff, golf stuff. Sometimes I'm wearing the t-shirts that I want to sell. Like you'll see me wearing my South Bay shirts in the videos. You'll see me wearing that connected shirt in the golf videos. Golf has nothing to do with the business, but I'm posting that stuff just general. Hey, this is me learning how to golf, and people are seeing it, people are buying. So if it's working for me, chances are it might work for you. So I highly, highly recommend anybody out there, whether you're watching this, whether you're on the fence about creating content, please just start making the content and posting the content regularly. Get into the habit of recording content, posting it regularly, and fucking sales will come because that's all I'm doing. Like I'm testing the shit out on TikTok. I'm just seeing if this strategy works. I've been at it for like a month. I never have to say go out and buy this shirt from me. It's just me showing the shit in these videos. People already know what to do. They're like already going to the link and buying stuff. And it's not driven through YouTube where I have the biggest following. It's driven through TikTok of people just seeing it. And then you could even see the people that are consuming your content aren't even following you. Like when you really break down all of the metrics behind what you're doing, like on the Shopify backend, on the TikTok backend, where you can see the insights on how your posts are doing, people aren't even following me. I'm not even interested in followers. All I care about is just people seeing the stuff. And it's crazy to see how it works. And what's driving the actual sales is just exposing people to your designs and them saying like, oh shit, that looks cool. I hope he's selling that because I want to buy it. And they just click the link, go, and they buy the shit. Pretty crazy how it's working out, man. And like I said, I want to share that with people because if it's working for me, it could be working for you guys too. You just have to kind of just jump in and start doing it. I felt weird posting the same video 3 times a day because I was like, this is kind of stupid. But then I like heard somewhere on a podcast or I read somewhere that TikTok doesn't penalize you for posting the same content. And then I started to see like pages that post the same thing every single day and they do numbers. So I'm like, oh shit, let me just try it out. And at first I was chasing views. I was like, all right, this video is not doing well. It's not performing well. I'm not getting good views. But then at the same exact time, I'm like, fuck, I don't even need the views. Like, if I'm getting sales, that's all that really matters. So now it's just strategically wearing shirts in my videos when I'm out golfing, stuff that I sell, and who knows who's gonna see the shit. You know what I mean? And people start buying from me. And like I said, the t-shirt isn't uh, it doesn't have to be promoted. You know what I mean? It's like it's doing its own promotion for yourself. So if that's starting to sound too repetitive for you guys, or you guys just like, oh man, he's just blabbing about social media and posting on his videos now, it's because the shit's working. And if it's working for me, I'm trying to share the knowledge with y'all of what's working for me so you guys can do it yourself and hopefully see some money in it too. Um, let me see. I'm gonna try to scroll back up because I seen the chat kind of going off. Um, okay, here we go. Selena's what's happening, struggling massively with content, just don't know what to do for my brand. You just got to start, even if your brand has no direction right now and you just have some dope shit that you want to sell or things that are already on your site, start putting that shit out, man. Start creating content about the stuff that you have on your site so you can start promoting it, start letting people see it so then you could start making some money. Big V, what's happening? When you repeat a video so many times a day, are you worried about the algo discarding your posts? That's what I had thought at the beginning, but then like I said, I seen it in a podcast where they said that you don't get penalized for posting the same thing on TikTok. And there's some of these sites or some of these pages that post the same exact video, like the same clip, the same video, everything all day long. And when you click on their page, that's what the timeline is just that same video posted every day. And some days it does good, some days it doesn't. But like I said, you don't get penalized for it. So it's like you might as well just keep doing it, man. You trying to put the balls in the hole is funny. Yeah, man. That shit is frustrating. That part of the everything about golf, learning golf is pretty frustrating, especially when you're like at the range and you see people that's been golfing for years and they got the shit down and they're working on their own skill set. And you're like, man, I'm trying to get to that level, but you don't know that they've been at it for years. And I'm new to this shit. I'm fairly like not even a month in, and I'm just like trying to rush the process. But at the same exact time, I'm enjoying learning and challenging myself. That's basically really what I get out of it. Is I really noticed this the other day. I was at the range and the range that I go to, it's in Carson, California. But you pay like $60 a month and then you could get a large bucket of balls every single day for that month. So the breakdown is 100 balls at the range costs roughly like 18, I think $19 or something like that for a bucket of 100. If you go to the range 3 times, you're already basically at $60 already. So this is you pay $60 at the beginning of the month, and then for the whole month, you could go to the range every single day and get 100 balls or a bucket of balls every single day. Uh, well, anyways, I was there and I was just like, the the part that I'm really enjoying is basically it's you versus you, right? It's you trying to better yourself, you controlling how many times you practice, you controlling the golf club. It's you're fully in control, and there's nobody to blame for what you're doing but yourself. It's all accountability. It's all basically just like I said, you're competing against yourself when you're playing. You're not if you're not in a tournament or anything. You're just competing with yourself. You're trying to better your score. You're trying to get better shots up. You're trying to do everything for yourself. It's not a team sport. It's just really you against you, and that's the part that I'm really, really starting to enjoy and really like the challenge of learning something brand new and then just trying to better yourself at it. You know what I mean? That's like I like business. I take that back. Business is cool, but what I really like is I like selling stuff. The challenging part about selling stuff is you need to figure out who you're going to sell to, make something that they want to buy, and then figure out a way for you to get that dope product that you made into the faces of the people that should be buying it. That's the part of the business a lot of people hate. That's the part I nerd out about. That's the challenge that I like, is trying to get a complete stranger to buy something from me. I think that's such a dope challenge in itself. And I think that's why me learning this golf shit is a little bit self-rewarding and very humbling at the same exact time. It's because I could kind of associate the two with each other, with just learning something completely new that I don't know nothing about. It's like learning customers that I know nothing about. Like, let's say I was trying to sell some t-shirts to some golfers. I don't know nothing about the sport, or I don't know what they're into and what's cool, what's not cool. So it's me just like learning them to figure out how I can supply them or make some dope shirts and hats and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, to me it's pretty cool so far. Till it gets like crazy frustrating, then I'm like, man, fuck this. But so far it's good. Uh, that's good. I want to see you in action pressing. I press all the time on TikTok, Instagram, all the short form content. It's there. Like, I show how to press all day long, man. When you say they're buying on TikTok, is it TikTok? Nah, they just go into the link in my bio and then they buy from there. I'm not selling on TikTok shop. I'm selling, you know how you could put a little link on your bio for every social media thing, you should have a link to where somebody could buy. It's like they click through that and then that's where they go to buy. I have a few questions. I'm wondering if I get a completely separate Google account for the biz. I assume I use that same Google account to get IG and TikTok. Yep. As for templates, I don't know nothing about templates, man. As for the Google account thing, yeah. Like, if you have uh you could get like a new Gmail account for the business, run everything through there, all your socials, every like social media stuff, everything through there. And then that way it's kind of just like zeroed in on just your stuff. As far as like templates and stuff like that, I don't know much about Canva. I don't know too much about that kind of stuff, but as far as the Google accounts, I say, yeah, it's a good idea. Get a separate one and then kind of bang it through. About to press up some heavyweight hoodies for the first time. Any tips I should know beforehand, or is it pretty much exactly just like shirts? Um, Adjust your pressure. Pressure is going to be a big thing for the hoodies, especially if you're doing heavyweight. T-shirts are very thin. Heavyweight hoodies a lot thicker, so you're gonna have to adjust your pressure, get a good feel for the heavy pressure for the hoodies, so that way you don't waste too many. A lot of times I've done this, and it's like my pressure is set for heavy for a T-shirt. I'll throw a hoodie down and not even thinking to adjust my pressure, and I put the transfer down, and I'm pressing it at a very like it's like crushing the shit because I didn't back off the pressure, right? Because if it's set for something very thin, I'll use this piece of paper, for example. If my press is set to press something like this at heavy pressure, but then I put something like my phone next to it, there's a noticeable difference in how thick this is compared to this. So you want to adjust your pressure, get that dialed in, and then you'll be good. Same thing is happening with me. Just posted me test burning coasters. Got a 36-piece order. I'm telling you, man, social media and content creation is everything right now to sell, sell, sell. It's so easy. It's like us creating our own commercials almost, where the shit don't even got to be polished up. Like, the shit could be raw, dirty. As long as you're posting content of what you're doing, just keep doing it. You got to like get into the habit. Most people post like one to five videos and they don't see nothing in return, and like, man, this shit don't work. And it's not that it don't work, it's like you got to be somewhat consistent on this shit. And if we're doing like if my only means of income is selling these t-shirts, I'm gonna try every fucking thing I can to sell some damn t-shirts. Because if my livelihood relies on it, I'm going to try everything. You know what I mean? But most of us get a little gun shy in front of the camera, or we set things up and then we're like, oh man, I'm not a content creator, man. I'm a business person. I shouldn't be doing this, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I get that part, but you have to come to grips with yourself and be like, nah, I'm just going to post this shit. Like, for example, man, like if I was like for the golf stuff, I'm trying to sell some golf t-shirts. Let's say that I'm gonna post everything I possibly can, even though I don't know nothing about golf. I'll be fucking super honest in the content. Say I'm a beginner golfer. This is what I'm learning. These are the clubs I'm doing. These are the clubs I'm using, and then you can break down each club of you at the range trying them out, and that's damn near 10 pieces of content right there on just club talk. And you could just keep going down the line of me learning, me doing this. This is what I'm doing. Now you're incorporating or you're involving yourself into this community and you're getting so immersed in that thing that people that are beginners also are following your journey and they're watching you. And now it's like there's so many things to film. Like my camera roll is full of, let me see, just clips of me pressing, me golfing, me like there's just so much of my day to day that doesn't seem interesting to anybody. And all it is just like me leaning my phone up on something or me setting my phone up on here and just recording some stuff. You have to get into the habit of doing that because if you're like, all right, today I'm going to film content, I'm going to do this, this, and this, that's going to get exhausting. But if you just go through your day and you set your phone up and you film a time lapse of you doing something, you forget that that's even on and you're just going through the motions. Now you have this piece of content that you could post across all social media platforms. Then you're like, you know what, let me get a couple video clips of this, doing this, showing me pressing up these t-shirts or hoodies or whatever, or adjusting the pressure on this, or I just got a new shipment of t-shirts in. Let me just film these t-shirts right here. Shit don't got to be a long piece of content. It could be some pictures. It could be 10-second clips. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Get into the habit of just recording the content and collecting the content and then edit it down and start posting. And it gets easier once you build up the habit of actually doing it. But right now, what a lot of us do is we get in our own way and we're like, ah, man, I ain't trying to do all that. That shit sounds dumb. Or, nah, I don't have a big following, so ain't nobody going to see my videos and blah, blah, blah. Like I said, man, I'll show you this shit. I just barely broke 1,000 followers on Facebook. And yeah, I barely got 1K followers on Facebook. So this page isn't cracking or nothing like that. But the videos that I post, golfing related, 1,000 views, 6,000 views on this one. I think you guys seen that one before of me showing how to peel that up. That same exact video, right? That's one video of me peeling up the thing. The same exact video, 6.7 thousand views. Here's me golfing, 5K views of me golfing. Same exact video, 3.5K views of me golfing. This is on Facebook, man, and I only have 1,000 followers. This is me. You guys seen this video of me packing up orders? 7.6 thousand views. It you just have to get into like the mode of recording the shit and then posting the shit, and you don't have to have a big following to do the shit. You could just fucking start posting, and then the shit just people see it. You know what I mean? Whether 75 people see it or 7,000 people see it. If you didn't post it, nobody would see it. You know what I mean? So it's just about getting into the habit of doing it. And it's not like I ain't trying to sell you on shit. Like this shit is free. Like everybody has a phone. You could record it, you could post it. Everybody's on social media. You just start doing the shit and get into that habit. Like that's all I'm trying to help people do is build up the habit of actually recording content and posting it and get out of your own way and your own insecurities of I don't like the way I look or I don't like the way I sound or whatever other excuse you have. If you want to see some results and you want to make some money, like you kind of have to do this. Like there's no other way around it, man. Um, Let me see. So the shirt you're wearing Are they buying it from Big Brando's site? Yep, they're buying from bigbrando.com. They're clicking on the link and they're going to bigbrando.com, and that's it. Uh, Building a high-end clothing company like $200 polo shirts. Do you think I should be showing me embroidering that shirt or what for high end? What makes it high end? Just because of the price tag, or are you sourcing certain materials, or is this like a cut and sew thing where you're getting your own polos manufactured? You got to like it comes down to like what you want to. It all comes down to what makes it high end. If you're just saying high end because you want to put a crazy price tag on shit, you have to show them what comes with that price tag, right? Like if you think about, look at luxury brands, right? Like Louis, Gucci, Prada, Chanel, these companies, right? These are luxury designer brands. Look at the content that they post, right? What makes them designer? What makes them luxury? What makes them sought after? It's because they sell people on the status that comes with whatever they're owning. Yeah, they make dope pieces and dope products and stuff like that, but to really like incorporate everything that that brand stands for, it's what comes with that high price tag. So if you're trying to show yourself selling $200 polos and you're like, I'm trying to start this high end company, it's like, what are the people getting for that $200? What makes your polo better than this $40 polo that this person's selling? You know what I mean? And if you have the answer to that, that's what you need to put out on social media. Is what sets you apart? Is it just the design that sets you apart, but you're using the same blank as this company? You're going to have to figure that part out on your own. Like you have to, if you're trying to be a luxury brand, you have to show what makes your brand luxurious. Like that's basically what it is it comes down to you showing what it's all about and why people should buy into it and why people feel this way. And you got to understand, like there's companies that are good at showing what, like it's the overall feel of what you get when you buy something. And like I said, the luxury brands, it's more of a status thing, right? It's like Coach and what's the other one? Michael Kors, right? Those are nice bags. They don't hold the same status as say the Pradas and the Louis and the Gucci's and stuff like that. But Coach and Michael Kors are still good, but Coach and Michael Kors talk to a certain audience, right? Whereas Gucci and Louis talk to a broader audience, but their customer base is a lot smaller because of that price range, right? Whereas the people that have the Coach bags and the Michael Kors bags, I don't want to say dream of having the Louis and the Gucci's and stuff like that. They appreciate that stuff, but it might not be in their budget. Coach and Michael Kors is considered high end to their budget, you know what I mean? But they talk to that audience. And then below that, like a regular bag from Target, all these bags that I just said, they all do the same exact thing. You put your shit in it, and that's it. It looks cool, you know what I mean? And that's about it. But all of those have a certain audience that they talk to, right? All of those things talk to a certain person. So you, with your $200 polos, you need to talk to people that you want to buy these $200 polos. And if you're just coming out the gate, you need to really explain what that means. What are they getting with that? Like what are they, what separates you from the next person doing the same exact thing, but their polos are a lot cheaper than yours? And if you're like, oh man, this is my own design, this is my pattern, this is my fit, like nobody else has this, and this is fucking cashmere or whatever the material you're planning on using, you have to you have to really sell that to the people. And that's where you, the creator, have to get creative on how to tell that story. You know what I mean? Because you got to figure, like I seen Louis ads where they show where they're hand making the bags, right? I seen ad or content that Louis put out of when they did It was the Louis and Air Force One collab that they did, where it was like brown and it was like crazy leathers that they were using, and they showed the little Italian man using the cobbler to put these shoes together, and sourcing all the different animal prints and gator and ostrich and whatever was used for that shoe. They showed that process, right, of them piecing that together and what makes this sneaker worth thousands of dollars or whatever it was, right? How limited it was going to be because each piece was handmade. If they can show that kind of stuff, you can show that kind of stuff too on how you're making your polos or whatever you're selling. You know what I mean? I ordered some shirts from AS Color and got them next day. Picked up one classic, one tube, and one stonewash. These are some nice fitting and soft shirts. Hell yeah, that's what I'm wearing right now, man. That to me, like I said, AS Color's some cool shit, man. I don't just hype them up because like they pay me. I wish they pay me, but they don't. This is just shit that I find that I like and I share it with you guys. You know what I mean? I don't hype it up to be like, oh, go buy this because I have stake in the company or something like that. Hell no. You know what I mean? I just found a cool blank t-shirt that I like. I'm like, man, I'm gonna tell people about it. I'm glad you like it though. You know what I mean? I'm late. I need to go back and watch now. I missed a lot. Kathleen, thank you for jumping on. War Paint. I'm about to do my first drop of 4 t-shirts. Should I do an IG reel with all 4 on the reel to scroll through, or do a reel for each shirt? You should do all of that. Do one reel with all 4, and then you should do one reel each for each t-shirt. And then I would go deeper into that and do like reels showing the designs, showing the t-shirts you're using, showing the process of making the t-shirts. That's damn near like 10 pieces of content right there that I just gave you that you could be doing, instead of just thinking like, oh, I'm just going to post this one reel of all 4 shirts and then that's it. No, keep at that shit. Do all 4 shirts and then break down each shirt after that, and then break it down even smaller than that, and then start showing you packaging up shirts, pressing the shirts, making the shirts, designing the shirts, what went into the thought process of designing. I'm on my laptop right here. I could take my phone, put it on a little tripod, or if I had a shelf right here, I could just balance this, show me, and then I could go through the motions of creating the design and what the thought process was. I could talk through it. I could time lapse that and do a voiceover and be like, this is the reason I made this design because it looks like this, or I'm trying to incorporate this and this. I was trying to go for this feel right here. This is why I chose these colorways. All of these things that I just said could be separate pieces of content that you could be doing for this one drop of 4 t-shirts, so people can see what the hell it's like, what you're doing. You know, it's just not the product photo. It's just not, hey, buy this t-shirt. Like, here's my women's crop top that I did, right? If I just posted this crop top on the bed, laying down, and I took a picture of it and I posted it, it's not going to do much. But if I did this and let's say I had somebody wear it, or let's say it was on the ground and I just did a small video clip of the design close up showing what it was, and then I did one showing that this is a AS Color woman's crop top, and I did a close up of the tag, and I try to get close up on the fibers, and now that's a separate piece of content. And then I could have somebody wear this and then take same exact video of somebody wearing this and post that up. And then now I could be like, this is, it's a woman's shirt, right? It's not going to fit me, but then I could have the woman that's trying it on tell me how it fits, how it feels. That's another piece of content all around one t-shirt. All that's all it is like, you have to try to start getting creative on how you create the content. It doesn't have to be all mashed into one. You could break these things down into separate pieces of content and start just flooding the shit out of your shit to get the most mileage possible off of all of that. You know what I mean? Thank you. You inspired me to walk up to my local golf course and practice. Haven't been in years. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. Get out there, get after it. Got the Heat Press Nation Signature Series press based on your recommendation, and I love it. One thing I didn't realize I needed was the stand so that I can press each side separately. I'm not exactly sure what you mean by a stand. Like the little splitter thing where you could like, so you could thread the shirt on. I think that's what you're talking about. You don't need that. Like, I don't thread none of my t-shirts. I like I guess you see how I do t-shirts. I just lay it down, press it, flip it over, press it again. But I did break a putter by smashing it on the ground. From now on, yoga, meditation first, then golf. Hell yeah. Oh man, I know the feeling, man. Let's see. What would be your suggestion to do as we get closer to Black Friday? Black Friday is very hyped up. People always get super, super hyped up. I got to do a sale. I got to do a drop. I got to do all this stuff. People shop just to shop. If you're going to do a sale, run a sale. If you were going to do some new drops for Black Friday, do some new drops. Don't put too much pressure on yourself for it. If anything, I would say if you're planning on doing hoodies, you should have been bought the hoodies by now. Leading up closer to the more winter seasons, hoodies are going to get scarce and it's going to be hard to get. So if you wanted to drop hoodies around Black Friday, I would say get them now. But as far as like Black Friday sales and Cyber Monday and all that stuff, people shop, people buy. The sales really don't drive too much more traffic. That from like small brands and small businesses, I don't see it much. I feel like people are in the mood to shop, they'll shop. You know what I mean? I personally would go heavier on creating the content to drive the traffic to your site, not because you're running a sale, but because you have dope products. You know what I mean? Appreciate your channel. Just did my first order of 60 shirts for a local event. Shirts came out great and I'm still learning. I also got the DTF Power texturizing sheet. I think that's that it's supposed to like it's like canvas or something like that. That's what I'm guessing. And like you smash it into the print and it changes the feel of the print. I think that's what that is. G6 was going down. Rat Vent was going down. How you like CapCut? This shit's dumb easy. Like once I figured it out, I use a lot of the free templates that they offer on CapCut, like the pre-made ones that you could just drop your video clips in and then it kind of edits it for you, like with all the graphics and all the overlays and all that stuff. I use some of that sometimes. But like majority of the time I'm using it to just cut out dead space on the videos that I create. So then that way I could like shrink them down to like a minute. That's what I've been using for, but so far so good. How important is titling your videos when you post on YouTube? Pretty important because that's how people search for you and find your videos. But for short form stuff, they say like the first 3 minutes the first 3 seconds is supposed to like reel you in to watch the whole thing. I've kind of toyed around with it, but you know, it is what it is. What companies do high brands get their shirts from? I love I love Gildan. Most companies like high-end brands, they run their own cut and sew programs. So they have their own like pattern of a t-shirt that they use and they use their own cotton weaves and they create their own t-shirts. So they're not just using blanks. Streetwear companies and stuff like that, they use different blanks. Like action sport companies, they don't create their own blank. They use a ready-made blank. So like for the high-end brands, most of them have their own cut and sew programs that they go through that manufacture their t-shirts for them. So it's their fit, their cut, their cotton or materials that textiles that they use. If you love Gildan, keep using Gildan. You know what I mean? That's how this game works. Is like you find something you like, you use it. I like AS Color. I use AS Color. Does that mean that's the only blank t-shirt company in the world? No, there's tons of different blank t-shirt companies. It's just personal preference. You use what you like. If you love Gildan, keep using Gildan. Don't switch up. Your neck labels you press in your shirts, do you include the laundry instructions on your label? If so, is it the company instruction or do you have? I don't put no instructions on my labels. My label is my logo, the size, my website. That's it. I To me, nobody reads the shit anyways. If you don't know how to wash a t-shirt by now, then you're in trouble. But at the same exact time, You could put whatever you want on the label, whatever you feel is best. Don't iron on the print, wash it inside out, cold water only, blah, blah, blah. If that's what you want to do, you do it for your shirts. Now, when it comes to do you use the manufacturer's thing, it's what's the care instructions for? Is it for the overall shirt or is it for the print? That's what you have to ask yourself. Are you more concerned with the t-shirt itself as a whole, or are you concerned with the print on the t-shirt, how that's going to hold up and what would prolong the longevity of the actual print? You figure out if you want to put both of those on there, wash the shirt inside out, cold water, machine, don't dry it, hang dry, or whatever it is, that kind of stuff, totally up to you. For me, I feel like it's not needed, so I don't put it on. But other people feel they want to because they see other brands doing it, and it's cool. There used to be this brand called This Is It. And they used to put funny ass sayings in there because they knew nobody really read it. So when you read it, the shit said something like, I don't even know why you're reading this. Your mom washes your shirts anyway. She knows how to do it. It says like ill shit like that, where it used to be pretty funny. But yeah, I stopped doing the care instructions on mine, and I'm not doing like you don't have to do what I do. I just felt like it's not needed. I guess that's for me. That's how I feel. What's your take on Hammer Gildan shirts? I don't use Gildan shirts, so I don't have a take on it. I just never like the fit and feel. My customers never liked them, so I never used them. I don't know too much about the Hammer shirt. I've never used it. I use AS Color. I've used Shaka Wear. I've used Pro Club. I've used All Style. I've used Next Level. What other ones have I used in the past? I used to use Optima. I don't think they're around anymore. That was like a competitor of Bella long, long time ago. Um, but yeah, that's I don't have any thoughts or anything on Hammer Gildan or Gildan Hammer. I've never used them. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I just don't have nothing good or bad to say because I never used them. I don't know if I can be in front of the camera. I'm not handsome like you. I'm telling you, man, you don't even have to be in front of the camera. You could use your hands only. You could just show the product only. You could wear the shirt and cut your head off on the camera and it's just your body showing, or you could use somebody else and tell somebody else wear the shirt. You really don't have to put your face on there. You don't even have to put your voice on there. They have so many like voice. Uh, I think TikTok has it where you could like disguise your voice and use all these different voices when you do voiceovers. So chances are you really don't have to be in front of the camera. Your likeness doesn't have to be on there. The way you speak, if you don't like the way you sound, you could change your voice. You could just show your hands. You know what I mean? It's a little easier that way. Created a raffle ticket promotion for a Halloween shirt raffle. What is your take on that idea? Yeah, that's cool. You know what I mean? If you wanted to do that and create some cool engagement that way, by all means, go for it. The one thing that I used to like, I forgot what brand I was running at the time, but I used to do those like giveaways like everybody else, like the not raffle tickets, but I used to do the one where it's like hey, tag 3 friends and like this post and to enter this giveaway or whatever, right? And what I started to notice was there's so many people that do that. And not a lot of people would participate if they didn't think the prize was worth it. And that was a humbling feeling for myself. Was I thought I had this dope product here and I'm trying to give one away. Like I have this dope ass hoodie and I'm trying to give one of these hoodies away and I'm thinking like it's going to be a feeding frenzy where like I'm going to get millions and millions of followers and comments and the engagement's going to go crazy through the roof for this thing. And I got like I think it was like 13 or 14 people that entered the giveaway, and it didn't the ROI wasn't like they were tagging like spam pages that they have, or like they were tagging like not potential customers. They were just tagging these other pages where I was just like, damn, like this shit ain't even worth it. And like I said, it was humbling because I thought I had a dope product. And then that showed me in my face that my product wasn't even worth giving away for free. Like nobody even cared. So that shit was wildly humbling. So I say that because in my head, I thought it my product wasn't shit. But what I started to notice was there's so many of these giveaways that happen, nobody participated. They pick and choose which ones they wanted to participate in based on the prize that they were going to win. This raffle ticket idea, I don't know how many people run raffles in your area or anything, so it might be a success. If like this might be something new, you know what I mean? I know people do raffles for other stuff, lowrider cars and like football tickets and stuff like that. Or I see people raffling off like PS5s and shit. So I know it works for that kind of stuff. So hopefully it works for your shirts and you're creating something new. So you're never gonna know until you do it. You know what I mean? Whether it's a fail or a flop, but at least you try the shit out and give it a fair shot, see if the shit works. You know what I mean? MM Customs, what's happening, man? Do you think it's a good idea to sell blank tees also on your clothing brand site? I'm going to use the AS Color Classic for my brand. If you want to go selling the blank tee route, go for it. Totally up to you how you wanna run that. Let me see. I can't say it's like a good idea or a bad idea because I don't do it. When I used to sell blank T-shirts, I sold them out of actual store. I didn't sell them online. Yeah. Did you purchase CapCut? Yeah, I got the one where like you pay $9 a month or something like that. Uh, it doesn't really unlock that many features, but it does unlock some of those cool like templates and stuff. Can you recommend a good company to do hat patches? I don't know any companies that create patches. Um, the cheaper like not the cheaper, but the more inexpensive route, but you have to buy in a big quantity is going the route of going overseas. So if you like Google search custom patches, when you do that, there's a ton of sites that'll come up. All you have to do is hit them up for a quote and be like, hey, I need a patch this size. It's like this. This is what I want. Here's a sample of it. They'll send you back a quote. Hit all those up. And a lot of those outsource to overseas and they'll have like a 3-week turnaround for a sample or whatever. But you'll get your patches for dumb cheap. You're just ordering a lot of them. If you're doing them stateside, Deco Press was a company that was doing patches. I think Stalls or Transfer Express, I think they make patches. Like if you wanted like a lower quantity of patches, you could get them that way. But um, it just all depends. Like if you just looked up, like Google searched custom patches, tons of places pop up. It just comes down to like what your budget is, what the time constraint is. Like, do you need them for a job that's due in 2 weeks? Like, it's going to be hard to get something from overseas in 2 weeks, so you'd have to go stateside. Um, that's basically how the shit works. I ordered AS Color. I had a call with a rep today and mentioned I heard about them from you, and they said they love Big Brando and what he does, and that you done good for them. That was cool to hear. That's fucking actually really cool to hear, man. Like, I wish these motherfuckers would pay me. I mean, not to call them motherfuckers, but I wish they'd be like, yo, man, we'll pay you to make videos because I make videos all day about them. Like, all right, I genuinely like their products. One, I'm very particular on how I like my t-shirts to fit, right? I'm a pretty big dude. I don't like the shirt to be so fitted that my belly's sticking out. I don't like the sleeves to be higher than they should be. I don't like the sleeves to be baggy. And I also don't like them long. I like literally landing right above the elbow is cool for me, but I like t-shirts that have a good collar. That's usually my biggest gripe with any t-shirt anywhere, period, is the t-shirt has to have a good collar. Because when the shit's like loose and it's like hanging like this, or it's not the look I'm going for, you know what I mean? And then I like a t-shirt that you could wash and then wear where it doesn't shrink up crazy, where it's like it fits all weird. So for me, that's the biggest gripe. And AS Color kind of knocks the shit out for myself with when it comes to their t-shirts. Like the basic shirt, I don't really wear too much because it's too thin for my liking, right? I judge a lot of t-shirts off of the white t-shirt. If I could see my tattoos, I have tattoos from my stomach all the way up to here, right? If I could see my tattoos in the mirror, then that's not the look I'm going for. Um, I also don't like my nipples showing through my t-shirt. So for me, it's like, let me try to figure out a dope shirt that works. So the AS Color Classic was one that was good for myself. And then when I found the block t-shirt, the tubular one, I'm like, yo, this one's dope. And then it's priced really dope and it fits and it doesn't show my tattoos, it doesn't show my nipples, and it's cut similar to the old 1701 t-shirt, just with a better cotton hand feel or whatever it's called. Like that shit is dope to me. But that's why I rock with AS Colors, because they just kind of check all the boxes for myself. Um, is some of their stuff pricey? Hell yeah, it is. But I get why some of the stuff is priced that way because of the quality of the t-shirt, the quality of the weave and the cotton, all of that stuff. And they make like dope ass, like, I don't know if you remember, like long time ago, American Apparel used to have like these little retail stores that just sold blank stuff, right? Whatever American Apparel sells, tank tops, socks, t-shirts, underwear, leggings for women. They just had tons of blank stuff. I seen online that AS Color has stores in New Zealand and I think Australia. They're a New Zealand company, but they have stores in the mall that just sell their blank goods, and they have dope ass jackets, and there's just a bunch of cool products that we have access to now. And I'm like, man, why? How come nobody's ever made videos about these blanks that they have? Like, I got so many of their jackets that I wear just to wear. I don't print on them or nothing. I just wear them blank because it's dope. Shit's wild to me. But that's really dope to hear, Warpaint. I appreciate one shouting me out and dropping my name with them, but at the same exact time, I really, really appreciate them for watching what I've been doing or actually seeing some of the videos that I make about their products. You know what I mean? I'm using Lane 7. Hell yeah. Hear a lot of people use Lane 7. I've never used them, but I hear a lot of people using them. And I think you got it looks like a motorcycle in your thing. There's a motorcycle company that was out here in, I think, Long Beach. Yeah, Long Beach baggers, custom baggers. I had joined a raffle for them. Like they were raffling off a motorcycle, and I had joined the raffle. And then the owner started making hoodies, and then the hoodie was printed on a Lane 7 hoodie. I thought that was dope. And he even showed himself like heat pressing the shit. Like I think he had a Heat Press Nation press, if I'm not mistaken, the Swing Away signature series. But he showed himself using DTF transfers and pressing up these hoodies. And then if you bought so many raffle tickets for the motorcycle, he sent you a hoodie or something like that. This is years ago, but I thought it was dope. He also said AS Color started in music. That's dope. I didn't know that. And now they're big in the music industry for big names like Taylor Swift, Bad Bunny, Drake, plenty others that he named use for their concert merch. That's dope to hear. I didn't know that. So if it's good enough for Taylor Swift, Bad Bunny, Drake, and all these other musicians, pretty dope blank to be using. You know what I mean? T Lamont was happening. Gildan's Hammer shirt was their attempt of going after Fruit of the Looms, Beefy Tea. The Fruit is a better shirt. I haven't seen or felt either of those shirts, but it sounds like it. I always see like, let's say like a company comes out with like a dope ass shirt, like the 1301 All Style shirt was like the staple shirt. Like that was the blank T-shirt that almost every brand used, and there were so many companies that made like their version of it, and that was one of the reasons why I used the Shockaware Active, is because it was kind of like that shirt, had a better collar, similar fit, similar cotton feel. The Pro Club Comfort is some similar to that also. The Next Level had one. I forget the model, but I think it was called the Ideal T. Was a similar shirt to the 1301. So if somebody has a popular shirt, there's like companies that make their version of that shirt, which is nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? John said Ninja Transfers has patches. There you go. Whoever was looking for patches, Ninja got them. Let me see. G6 Customs wants to know if anybody's going to Printer United. I don't know if you guys ever go to these trade shows, but if you do go to these trade shows, I would recommend the Impressions Expo. That one travels around the country. And this Printer United one, I haven't been there. I see the videos. A lot of the content creators that do go to those shows say it's a dope show to the Printer United. I'm looking forward to going to one. I won't be at uh, Printer United, but I am looking forward to going when it comes back to Vegas. I think I'm going to go. But if you guys really wanted to see like firsthand of shit that's within our industry that we're all a part of, go to these trade shows, man. Like you'll get so much information. This is where you could touch and feel a bunch of stuff. This is where you could get free samples from transfer companies that you've been wanting to try. You could get all kind of free shit, and this is where you can actually go and do all the research you want to. Graphics Pro Expo is a cool one. That one comes to Long Beach. That one just passed. Printer United and Impressions Expo. Those are the ones that I think are super dope. Impressions Expo in Long Beach is the one you guys see me always go to. That one comes up in January. If you wanted to sign up, I think it's free right now. Correct me if I'm wrong, but early registration is free. If you just wanted to walk the like floor where all the like vendors and stuff are to check everything out, you don't buy nothing there. I mean, there's some booths where you could buy certain things like some vinyl and squeegees maybe and like embroidery hoops. You could buy that kind of shit there from some of the vendors, but you're not buying like blank t-shirts or nothing. But you could check it all out, touch everything. It's a dope place to really, really get all the information you want for your business there. That's where I find, man, I find a bunch of different manufacturers, find a bunch of different vendors. That's how I got like all my like Letterman jackets that I made, like the varsity ones. I got those shits made through a vendor. I found jersey manufacturers there. Um, I did nylon uh baseball jackets, like the satin looking ones, but it was nylon, not satin. I did some of those by finding manufacturers over there. Who else? There's a bunch of them, man. Um, you always can find blank hats there, hoodies, t-shirts, all that shit. Life is Beautiful just bought a DTF printer. That's fucking crazy. Hell yeah. Get that money, man. Go for that shit. Pro colored P13. I think I seen ads about that. Hell yeah. Dope. Congrats. You know what I mean? Get that money. Can you heat press a small child shirt? Hell yeah, you can. With your regular big size heat press, you could lay that sucker down flat on there, or you could raise it up a little and use like pressing pillows or mouse pads and put them underneath to raise it up over the collar and all that. You could use those to help out, but you could also like just smash it down, press it flat. Um, but yeah, you could use your regular 15 by 15 or 16 by 20 to do kid shirts. Problem now is American Apparel is all the Gildan stuff. Yeah, American Apparel in its heyday when it was still American Apparel made here, shit was dope, man. I didn't use their stuff, but the chokehold they had on the industry, especially for women and just blank goods in general, were killing because they had retail locations everywhere in the malls and shopping centers everywhere. And it was like sought after. Like it was like certain things, their 50-50 blends were like moving like crazy. I remember like rib tank tops were going crazy. And I remember socks were going crazy for them. And then they started offering because they were just like blanks, right? They would offer like let's say like some socks, and then you could buy like the dye for the socks or the tank top, so you could dye the shit. It, they were killing shit, man. And then when they sold, and then obviously partners split up and all that shit happens. When they sold, Gildan messed everything up. Gildan messed up all style, man. Let me see. That's nothing against Gildan, man. Like shit, this business is business. As an observation, I notice a lot of your designs are driven with your culture or area. Does designing with your area culture in mind make your shirts more sellable? It's more sellable to that exact audience. This Aloha shirt wouldn't speak to nobody that don't give a shit about no Aloha, right? It's stuff like that that I really play into who I'm selling to, right? The reason I do it is mainly because it takes the guesswork out of everything, right? If I'm selling shit to golfers, I'm gonna make shit cater to golfers. I have a retail store in the South Bay of Los Angeles. that sells t-shirts. It sells my hats, my t-shirts, things that I make, I sell out of there. Nobody from YouTube is shopping. And I mean, people come from YouTube and they come and hang out and chop it up. But that store is made for that community only. So the shit that I sell in there, because the customers that shop there are from the community. So I'm going to give the community what they want. So I'm making South Bay shirts and hoodies. I'm making LA based shit. I'm making West Side shit. I'm making shit that speaks to the community, because that's how I'm selling the t-shirts. Is I'm selling based on who I'm making the shit for, right? That's what I'm trying to get across to a lot of people, is knowing your audience helps you sell your products. I know my audience. I know who's going to buy this Aloha shirt. There's a reason why it's red and yellow. Red and yellow are royal colors in the Hawaiian culture. If you guys haven't watched Chief of War, look at everything they're wearing. Their capes are red and yellow. Everything is red and yellow when it comes to royalty. These colors, red and yellow, speak to the Hawaiian culture. Aloha is a Hawaiian word. So you know what I mean? Like the shit that I'm making is 1000% geared and directed at a certain audience. You know what I mean? And that's how I sell t-shirts, is I make shit for people that I know would be interested in it. There's so many people that just make shit and then try to go find the customers later. And now they're trying to force feed that design to these people. Where what I do is I go to the customers first, figure out what they're into, what their interest is, and then I make shit geared around all of that data I found here, right? And then now I'm just giving them exactly what I know they want and need. Knowing your customers, knowing your target audience, knowing that information makes a world of a difference when it comes to selling these shirts, man. And I feel like nobody really hears that, because they just think like, oh shit, like, man, you're just like in a certain niche or whatever. I've proven this shit with the fucking churro brand. You know what I mean? I was selling shit to Disneyland goers. I was selling shit to so many different people that it's like it works for everything. Like knowing who you're gonna sell to and you make something for those people, easy fucking call. You know what I mean? That's the way that's not the only way to run a business, but that's the way I always seen success in this business. And I feel like not a lot of people talk about that, or not a lot of people really break down how that shit works. So that's why I'm always preaching that shit, because it's basically how the shit works out. You know what I mean? It's like you make something that's relatable to somebody, they're easily going to take a look at it. You know what I mean? Let me see. Where's Printer United? I think somebody said it's in Orlando. I might be wrong, but I know it's in Vegas sometimes. But I think it's in Orlando. Oh yeah, G6 Custom said it's in Orlando. Thank you. Love your tees and designs, Stoko, Big Brando. Appreciate that, man. You helped me build my clothing line over here in Australia. Can't thank you enough. Appreciate you, brother. Get that money out in Australia. That's what I'm talking about, man. I want to make it out there. Australia seems dope as fuck. Um, Everyone go to Long Beach in January for the ISS Expo. Yeah, appreciate that. Long Beach is more like it. What's it called? Impressions Expo. What's the best way about making connections with Pro 5 Shaka and Pro Club? You're talking about like the company, like trying to work with the company directly. I don't know nothing about Pro 5, but Shaka and Pro Club. Pro Club's here in Gardena. Shaka's here in LA. They're off of Jefferson. Just hit them up. You know what I mean? Create an account with them. Start working with them that way. A lot of what you're saying I could use on shirts, use as quotes on shirts. Hell yeah. Next impressions should be in Fort Worth, Texas. Yeah, I think it travels around. So I know it's here in Long Beach. I know it goes to Atlantic City, which is on the East Coast. Texas does it. If it's in Fort Worth, that makes sense. I also want to say they go to Orlando, but I might be wrong. There might be some other places. But yeah, if you just went on the Impressions Expo or impressions.com, it'll have all the shit. Let me see. There's a Hawaiian festival in Temecula, California. Have you heard? I've never been to one out in Temecula. I mean, I've been to like the casinos out there, like Pachanga and all those little casinos out there. But I've never been to a Hawaiian festival out there. I've been to PIFA down in San Diego. I vend at a lot of the local ones around here, but not the Temecula one. I might check it out. I mean, when's that shit coming up? I'd be down to check it out. I remember a chat a couple of months ago that the original owner of American Apparel has a new company. Forgot the name, but the stuff is supposed to be great. I think it's LA Apparel. I think American Apparel owners split up, I think, and one started LA Apparel and the other one, I don't know what he's doing. I might be wrong, man. I might just be like talking out of my ass, but I want to say that's what I read or heard or seen. Let me see. Do you have any advice on forming an LLC? I don't have a storefront and I didn't want to use my home address, but can't use a PO box. The virtual office is pretty expensive. I don't go the LLC route. My biggest, what I always recommend to people that want to trademark something or form an LLC is hire an attorney to help you file for registering as a LLC, trademark, getting legal advice for what's protected, what's not protected. Um, I'm guessing that you don't want to use your home address because you don't want people to know your home address. Whenever you form a home business, whether it's a LLC, DBA, FBN, whatever it is, that's for the state to know where you're conducting your business. That's not for your customers to go to your location. That's basically for your where you're going to register your business out of because you're telling them I'm a home business. You know what I mean? The only people that are going to see your address are the people that process that paperwork. That's the only people that are going to see your home address when you register for your business. So you use your home address, say you're a home business, you use that address for registration only. That's saying I'm conducting business here. Now, when you start selling stuff and your return address, like where you ship your shit out of, and it's going to have a return address, that's where you put a PO box or something else. So your customers don't see your home address; they see the return address. If that makes any sense, I hope that makes some sense to you. But that's what I would do. I would also like you have to figure out like I don't know what the reasoning is to register as an LLC versus FBN or a DBA. Um, I think you might be going the LLC route because maybe you're going to have some employees working for you, or maybe that's just what you heard. But if you looked at the DBA route or FBN route, which is fictitious business name or doing business as, it's cheaper, a lot less paperwork, a little bit easier to do. Um, that one, you just fill out the application, you pay the fee. I don't know where you live, but here in Los Angeles, like I think the fee's like $30 or something like that. They look through what you want to register your business name as. They make sure it's not taken already, and then boom, you're approved, and now you're a legitimate registered business. And it'll be like Brit doing business as whatever your business name is going to be. Um, I don't want people to Google my business name and find the address. I, I get it, it's a privacy thing. Um, I don't know how many times you've Googled businesses that you buy from just to see where the shit's coming from or shit like that. I've never done it. Like I've never once said, "Man, let me see where I don't know wherever I ordered something from." Like G6 Customs. Never once have I said, "Man, where does G6 Custom make his stickers at? Let me Google his address." I know there's people out there that do that, but for myself, it's if you're gonna register your business as a home business, basically, you're gonna have to use your home address of where you're conducting the business because your state county, city, they need to know where you're conducting this business and what type of business it is and stuff like that. So that's why they ask for your home address. But then when you have your return address on your shipping label, on like, let's say you accept returns and you're like, oh man, you don't like it, return it back to me. There's the return address, which would be your PO box. That's where you would use that for, and then you'll be good. But yeah, don't let that don't let that address thing stop you from starting your business, man. I know a lot of people that don't get started because that's what they're hung up on, and it's more in your head than anything. There's not a lot of people just out here saying, let me just Google search where people live and stuff like that so I could show up, which is pretty crazy. I mean, I know it happens, but don't let that stop you from starting your business, man, because that right there could cripple everything. Your hopes and dreams could be crippled just because of that. And then that's going to force you to be like, oh, let me get a retail location so I have a legitimate business address. And if you're trying to hide from people, people are going to see you at your retail location. So if you're stuck in your head about that kind of stuff, you're never going to get started. So get out of the way of doing that and get to the money right away. That all becomes public record when you register. Yep, that's it. What about an address for returns? Yeah, just use a PO box. If you want to, like, we have these things here in Los Angeles, or especially in the South Bay Harbor area. They're called like mailbox etceteras, or they're called the UPS store. They all offer like a PO box type of deal. Like it's just like a virtual mailbox, and it gives you an address, and that's what you would use for your return address. Like I have a retail store, right? I use my return address. My retail store is my return address. If you ever bought something from me, it'll say, I don't even know the address off the top of my head. It's like 2725 or something like that, Western Avenue, Suite 120. That right there, I'm all over the internet, right? Like I make YouTube videos, I make social media stuff. If somebody's really coming to check for me, they can find me at my store. That's where the address is. Try to get out your way of thinking like that to just start doing shit. If you're doing good business, you have nothing to be worried about, man. People are gonna be thrilled to shop with you. You know what I mean? If you're doing shady business, that's when you got to worry about, like, oh shit, these people are gonna be after me because I scammed them. Don't do none of that scamming shit and run a legitimate business. You'll be good, man. Trust me. Um, Never mind. You just answered that. I appreciate that. Makes sense. I appreciate it. Yes, it has been holding me back. Honestly, I needed that. Thank you. Yeah, don't let that get in your way, man. Everybody in this chat probably has a registered business. You know what I mean? And they all use their home address. Everybody's good, man. I have a buddy of mine that prints business cards, flyers, etc., and offers free shipping across the US. Is there such a service you know about that offers free shipping for apparel? Hell yeah, it's all about fluctuating your price. So you can offer free shipping and just build the shit into your retail price. So let's say it costs to ship something first class ground through the post office from here in Los Angeles to New York. It costs, I think, $7. UPS, I mean, post office ground, USPS ground. If I wanted to offer that customer free shipping, let's say my t-shirt costs $30. I would sell the t-shirt for $37 retail and say free shipping. So that way they're paying for shipping. All I want is $30 for the t-shirt, but I'm building it into the retail price of $37. The customer's seeing the retail price of $37 and they're seeing free shipping and they're like, oh fuck, that's a good deal. I'm getting free shipping for this. But they're really not. You're using that $7 that you put onto the retail price to pay for the shipping costs. And that's how a lot of people do it. They just build it into the retail price and it sounds good, free shipping. You know what I mean? Hey bro, for different size shirts, you use different size prints? Hell no. Not to say it like that, but no. Do you have general or case by case? Like an extra large would be 14 inches? No. All of my designs are different sizes. None of them are the same exact size. Anytime I make a design, like this right here is just one word text, and it's probably 2 inches by 5 inches, maybe. But this would look different, or if the text was a little bit different, it wouldn't be 2 inches by 5. It'd probably be 3 by 3 or 3 by 4. I change everything. But when it comes to size of t-shirt, I don't change the size of design. I make one design size that's going to fit everything I offer. It'll fit a size small t-shirt up to a 3X. That's what I offer, is small to 3X. I don't change the size of design based on the size of t-shirt. You have to remember, when screen printers, I say this all the time, when screen printers print t-shirts, they burn one screen and one screen only. And whatever the size offering is, it gets screen printed with that same exact screen. They're not changing the screen based on the t-shirt size, like, oh shit, I'm doing larges. Let me get my large screen out and print that same design, because that's a waste of money. They'll be burning screens for every single t-shirt size, right? Fucking 6 different screens just for the 6 different size offerings. Doesn't work that way. So you just make one size of a design that'll fit size small to 3X. Now you're probably asking yourself, like, well, how do I know what size to make my designs? You get your size, whatever you're offering, 3X to small, or small to 2X, or whatever you're offering. You get that size small t-shirt and measure that shit. You just measure it. You measure the 3X t-shirt, you measure it, and you get the dimensions. What you're going to notice is, when those t-shirts are on the person's body, when the size small t-shirt is on the small person's body, when the 3X is on the big person's body, the print size is still going to be the same. This little what I say was 2 by 5 design is going to look the same on person's body, because the body's round, right? So, like, let's say you lay this t-shirt down flat, you're like, man, this is a big ass shirt. This looks like a little design. It's not going to look good. But when it's on the person's body, it looks proportional when it's on the person's body. It's not, because the shirt looks very wide when it's flat, but when it's on the person's body, the body's round. It it's a visual thing, man. It's a very, very visual thing. So there's no set design size. You make your design sizes whatever you feel is good. What I like to do is I take pieces of tape and I'll tape off like a box. Like, say I was trying to do this design right here. I'm like, man, I wanted to say this. Let me see how I could do that. I'll tape off a box and I'll have somebody wear it. And I'll be like, this looks like a good size. I'll take a ruler and I'll measure the box. I made the box with tape, right? Put tape on, measure the box. I'm like, all right, it looks good at 2 by 5. I'm going to design to 2 by 5. For the back print, it's fairly big. I don't know if you could see it, but it's fairly big. That design fits on a size small t-shirt up to a 3X t-shirt, on tank tops and t-shirts. And it's not because I said, all right, it has to be within these. It's just like whatever visually looks good. So I'll have somebody wear a t-shirt in front of me and I'll put tape on the shirt and I'll tape off a box, like just general dimensions. Be like, all right, this looks good on the body, right? I don't want the design landing in the armpits. I don't want the design stretched over to the shoulders. I want the shit pretty much in the middle. So I put the tape where I think it looks good. Then I take a ruler and I measure the shit out. I made a video about this when I was pressing up some aprons to show the process on how this works. That's going to be your best visual indicator on what size is going to be good for whatever design you're using. So I think what you should do is have somebody wear the shirt in front of you. You get some tape. You measure off what you think will look good because you know what you're going to design to. You take those dimensions, put it in Photoshop or Illustrator, make your artboard that size, and you start designing. Then you'll know exactly what that's going to look like visually when it's worn on the body. Remember, t-shirts look way fucking different when it's flat on the bed, flat on the table, flat on the ground versus when it's on the person's body. Let's see. Why is your store only open on certain days of the month, not all the time, so you can enjoy your life with family? Fuck yeah, it is. I don't want to be a slave to my store, man. Like, for me, I open that store when I have time. That store hasn't been open since June. June was probably the last time I opened it. I've been traveling, I've been busy. And to me, that store is just there so I could, sell some t-shirts and shit like that. Online sales are doing good. I haven't had a need to open the store. And I've also like been vending and stuff like that. Like I'll be out vending live in person too. But when I started the store, I started it with the idea of the store will work around my schedule and I won't work around the store schedule, if that makes any sense. And it also drives the traffic a little bit better where if I'm only open on certain weekends or I'm only open on certain times, it forces people to be like, oh shit, they're open. Let's go check. Like, let's go grab some shit. So if you came to my store, I have a bunch of South Bay shit. If you don't live in the South Bay, chances are you won't be a customer for any of that shit. You know what I mean? But the people in the South Bay, there's not a lot of companies around here that sell South Bay shit. So if I'm the only store that sells it, it forces them to come in like, oh shit, that's where these South Bay hoodies are coming from. That's where those South Bay hats are coming from. That's where people are getting these South Bay t-shirts. So it makes people show up to the store when we're open. You know what I mean? Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. Last week you mentioned you were selling numbers at the kids sporting events. Were you getting the numbers on gang sheets? Man, before that, I was cutting that shit out on vinyl. So I would just I would go to McLogan's in downtown LA when I was doing this. When I was pressing these numbers up on kid t-shirts, I would go down to McLogan and buy a shitload of Thermoflex vinyl, 5-yard rolls of vinyl, and I would pre-cut all the numbers, weed them all up, boom, 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 boom. And then I would just keep them all stuck and stacked on top of each other in Ziploc bags. So then it'd be like, all right, my kid's number 19. I'll take a 1 and a 9, press that shit down, boom. And then once transfers came around, there was no DTF, there was no gang rolls. It was just gang sheet transfers. And the biggest transfer sheet size, well, I take that back because Wildside used to do 30 by 40 screen printed transfer gang sheets. So I used to be able to gang up a bunch of them on there. I used Silver Mountain back then because Silver Mountain's 19 by 13 gang sheet was $1 a piece. So I would gang up a bunch of numbers on there. But before that, I was using fucking vinyl, man. And I was banging that bitch out. Do you copyright all of your new designs? Hell no, I don't copyright nothing. I don't know if you ever been through the copyright process, but the shit's a pretty lengthy one. Um, I make shit and I put it out, man. Zeus, I deal with a lot of Samoans, so some of the shirts go to 7X, so some of the shirts look hella small on those. Anything bigger than 3X is a whole nother world. I press a lot of shit for guys in Hawaii, right? Up to 7X also, 5X mainly, but I go up to 7X also. When I do that for the big Polynesian dudes out in Hawaii, those are more of like, I don't sell that retail. So those are like one-off things where I would make them bigger for those big sizes. But when it comes to the small to 3X, like the shit that I sell, small to 3X, it's easy to keep a grasp on. Anything bigger than 3X, that's a whole nother ball game, man. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Especially like if I do like rest in peace t-shirts for somebody in Hawaii, and I do those a lot. Those are the sizes that they give me, 5X, 7X, like these big ass t-shirts. So I have to make the transfers way bigger for those because of, so I would do small to 3XL, all one size, and then anything 4X to 7X, obviously I'm making bigger. But I don't retail that stuff. So that's why I don't, like when I retail stuff, I buy transfers by the hundreds. You know what I mean? So I'm not buying 100 small transfers, 100 medium transfers. No, that's going to be dumb for myself. I buy 100 transfers and I use that same transfer across everything I offer. And if I offer small to 3X, that transfer is going to fit all of those size offerings. Anything bigger than that is like custom order shit, or it's like I said, it's a contract print job where I'm doing rest in peace t-shirts or security t-shirts. I do shit like that for guys in Hawaii, guys even here. Big Polynesians need big ass t-shirts, so I make the designs a little bit bigger. But retail wise, I don't retail anything bigger than 3X. Man, what I vend at this wine festival every July, and I have the same customers every year. Big ass Samoan dudes that come through, and they're like, "Yo, man, like, where's the 5X?" I'm like, "Man, I don't, 3X is the biggest." Every year they come and they say the same exact thing, and I have to tell them, like, one, that's an expensive ass shirt, and if you don't show up to this damn festival, who am I gonna sell the shit to? You know what I mean? Like, not everybody's asking for that size, so it's a cost thing for myself. And I get the frustration from them, but at the same exact time, I can't cater to everybody. I kind of have to draw the line somewhere. You know what I mean? Let me see. Yeah, going back to copyrights, I don't copyright anything. I kind of just put the shit out. When it comes to trademarking and copyrights and stuff like that, it's cool to have. It's a very, very nice to have. And it's easy to say, like, man, use my shit, I'll sue you. That gets thrown around very loosely all the time. Lawyer fees are expensive. Attorneys are expensive, legal fees are expensive. If you don't have the budget to back up your copyright or your trademarks, that trademark is basically useless. Just because you have a paper on the internet and you're like, yeah, man, I own this. That's not stopping nobody from using the shit. And then when the people actually use the shit, you have to fight them in court for it. And if you don't have the money to pay a lawyer to fight for your trademark, then you're not backing up your trademark though. Like, just because you say you own it doesn't do nothing. It's not going to stop nobody from doing shit. Like, you really have to take legal action. If you don't have money for a legal team to take real legal action, you know what I mean? Kind of dead in the water, man. Do you use mouse pads or pillows to press on a size small or medium? Nah, small and medium I lay on my press still. Kids shirts, women's shirts, I'll use mouse pads or pressing pillows. I go from kids, dog sizes, all the way up to 7 and 8. Damn. I don't even think I've seen an 8X. I've seen a 10X, but it was just a display. Resize my designs for kids and dogs. Yeah, that makes sense. Dogs is pretty funny. Good evening, Big B. What program do you use to convert PNG files to DST files for embroidery? There is no program to convert the shit. You have to digitize all your shit. So you would take that PNG file, put it into a digitizing software, and you would have to lay each stitch over that. You would have to learn it. So you could use something like Chroma, which is a digitizing software that you would have to buy, or you would pay a digitizer to digitize it for you, which is like 15, 20 bucks. And you just Google digitizing services and then tell them you want it in a DST file. And then bingo. But there's no just like easy drop your file here, convert it to this, because it's all about stitch layout, how you want the machine to stitch over the design to create the design. That's a whole nother program you got to learn. I haven't had time to learn it. Thanks, brother. Hey, what about ordering print as a new site? Wait, as a new site with me volume, can I ship once a week and order my prints once a week to combine shipping? Are people willing to wait a week? You got to ask yourself that. I don't know your customers. For me, I always feel like customers are impatient. I'm an impatient customer. When I buy shit, I want the shit as soon as possible. You know what I mean? I hate waiting. Um, but you have like big companies like Born and Raised. They do kind of like that pre-order type thing where you buy it and then like a month or two later is when they actually print it and ship it out. um that shit pisses people off, man. Like, some people kind of get impatient and then it sometimes turns people off. It turned me off, you know what I mean? Like, where I was just like, man, I hate waiting for this shit. Like, I want to buy this Dodger hat so I can wear the shit to the Dodger game. I don't want to have to wait to wear the shit next year, you know what I mean? And that's something you kind of have to figure. Like, you got to gauge the temperature with your own customers to be like, are they willing to wait for this? Or, you know what I mean? As long as you're upfront with your customers and like when they place the order or before they place the order, there should be some kind of verbiage that says, hey, like, it takes 1 to 2 weeks to process or something. That way it'll be different. Let me see. I miss Wild Side. Yeah, Wild Side used to be dope, man. Just for those big ass gang sheets, I used to love that shit. Let me see. So it's okay if the shoulder seams of a small or medium are on the press and being pressed in, the transfer will still get the right. When I lay down size small and medium shirts on my 16 by 20, the shirt lays all the way, like the seams don't bother. I don't know what size small shirts you're using or what the size is. That part would totally be up to you. But like for me, size small, when I press size small, it'll go right to the arm seams. That'll be over the edge, and then obviously the collar's over the edge. And that's on the True Spec, the 16 by 20 press. Uh, Alex said, when the Samoans show up at the festival, take their money and ship their shirts. I never do that. Me personally, I'm the transaction has to be fucking right there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't front nobody nothing. I don't want nobody fronting like money on me. I just want to be able to do the transaction, and that's an old school way of thinking. But that's just how I am. Like, if you're gonna give me money, it's because I'm actually giving you the product right then and there. You know what I mean? Same thing when it like people order shit online. You order something online, I'm processing that order right away. Only because I never want it to come back on me like, oh man, this motherfucker scammed me, or man, I gave this dude money on Wednesday and I didn't get my shit till like 2 Saturdays later. Like that's I never want that on me. So that's why I never do that. But that's a personal preference. You know what I mean? That's just me in general. Appreciate all your videos, lightning plugins. Thank you, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for jumping on and rocking with me. If anybody else don't got any other questions, man, we did like an hour and a half. You know what I mean? I appreciate all the conversations too. This was a dope live because people was asking some new shit. That's what I really appreciate. Gives us a chance to kind of chop it up about some other shit. So thank y'all, man. You guys already know this. I do this shit every single Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank y'all for rocking with me, man. Appreciate y'all. Catch you guys on next one, man. Peace.